It hasn't changed. On the stream, it hasn't changed. Apologize about all the technical difficulties we had initially, but that has now been solved by the Three Crowns team, and we're ready to go into the second game. Hopefully, we can flow through it without having any distractions, and I can even see the gameplay better now, so there will be no misinformation. All right, so the teams are gearing for what is going to be an amazing fight right there in the Sandhog game, and I am super excited to see who is able to perform in this particular one. We saw the boys from Invictus go out all guns blazing in the previous game, take out teams like Sidizens and teams like Apex to grab that winner chicken dinner along with a whole bunch of kills right there. Rogue Baby stumming the lobby with that MVP performance. Will she be able to do the same again in the Sandhog game? Let's go check it out. All right, guys, so we're now down to this Sandhog game. As we can see that fly path moving all the way from that central south position towards that central north position. And what this does is it allows a lot of teams just land within their favorite spots. We can see Invictus beginning the onslaught again, going in for another aggressive land to get the boss right there from Valhalla. And Neo is the first one to get himself into some action right here as he does take down one of the players from Valhalla. That is Sigma. Sigma goes down right there early on in this one, and they're making a push. They're going in for the juggler of the boys right there from Valhalla, and it is Neo who is continuing with the onslaught right there, getting ready and gearing to take down the rest of the players from Valhalla. He's got to be careful because Beast is just waiting and itching in that spot, but this nade might be able to do some damage as 007 is stay right there, and boom, down goes 007. Beast waiting and lurking and looking to see if he can get but another nade. My top is around. Look at this one coming in from Neo, and it will possibly be the end of the boys from Valhalla as they're down to the Zenith and Rogue Baby and Neo making that push, and they continue with the gameplay that they had in the previous one, getting themselves 4 kills. Quick work up against the boys from Valhalla. My goodness, what a gameplay coming in right there from the boys right there from Invictus. Lovely nades from Neo to get him some early eliminations right there. He played that quite well from the start, and we'll see if that one, or if that what that means for them at the end of the game. All right, all the way at another edge of the map is the boys from MOB getting into some action with the boys from Dream Team. MOB has lost one player, but Dream Team has as well one lost one, and they have another who is down, but they've been able to get that revive. So it is one kill on both ends between the fight going down between Dream Team and the boys from MOB. But here's the thing, Dream Sad is far away from his teammate and might not be able to provide them any support, so that fight is pretty much a 2v3 situation if the boys from MOB decide to pull up onto that one. So let's just take a look at where the different teams are currently situated. It is the boys right there from Solo sitting down in ruins. They've got pretty much what is a central position of the map, as well as the boys from Afro holding a Painan position. Invictus, as we can see, of course, in Camp Charlie. The boys from Apex continuing with their regular quarry split and holding it down. TOS in Camp Bravo is also in the mix of things. So right here in boot camp, we do have Disparaged coming up against Citizens. Disparaged as well. You didn't watch yesterday's game. You definitely missed a lot, getting themselves 2 winner chicken dinners and making sure that they continue to perform. Oh, was that day before yesterday? Not really sure. There's been so much action going on. All right, TOX also getting themselves into some action all the way in Camp Bravo as they're coming up against the boys from First Artics. They've gotten a couple of knocks against the boys right there from First Actors, and they're continuing to see if they can get them taken out of the game, as Player 7 is putting in, doing the Lord's work right there and taking the boys right there from TOS down to the one guy. And it is TOS who wins that fight, getting themselves 4 kills in this one. TOS, one of those squads who has not been having quite a great game so far in the entire competition, but they keep on pushing and trying as much as possible to get them kills. Right, Citizens Gaming holding a central position within this particular position right there in boot camp. Disparaged, Sheen and his boys just waiting for them to make a move, and they're holding pretty much what is a defensive position for now. They don't want to be totally aggressive, and you can see Gaudier just looking at each and watching around him and trying to figure out where the boys from Disparaged are at. Sheen is somewhere just around that, or should I say outside that warehouse, just looking around and waiting for who's going to be the scapegoat that just gets into his scope. Chaos, Honest, and the boys just waiting and eating. It does look like Joker might be coming really close to Honest. Might see something go down between the two of them. The DBS is currently with Honest right now, and Joker might be in a whole lot of trouble if he pulls up to him, because we know the damage has been done in this competition with the DBSs so far. So we'll see how that one continues to play out for all of these guys. We got 14 squads in this particular game. 2 teams have been taken out. It is First Artics and Valhalla Esports. Artics were taken out by the boys right there from TOS and sent back into the lobby. And as well as Invictus taking out Valhalla early on. So now turn our sights onto the boys from Sidizens, and we'll see if they can hold this position quite well. So no MVP. Someone asked no MVP for one. I do believe the MVP was Rogue Baby. Rogue Baby taking on that MVP position. But for now, let's turn our sights onto Solo Esports coming up against the boys from Habitual. They had gotten a knock onto Mindseed, but now putting up onto that position where Doctor holding on for now. Does take down Style. But Solo Esports in a whole lot of trouble as they got 2 players who are currently down. Habitual putting up right there. Putting in the work. They will be able to get that revive. The other teammates for Solo Esport, Low Boss and Samurai, not too close. Might not be able to provide the support that is quite needed for them right here. Doctor might be sent back into the lobby. You can see Real searching and looking for that confirmation as he does take back Doctor into the Solo Esports, who have not been having quite a game so far. They're one of the teams that we've spoken about. They have the experience in, you know, the entire competitions within Africa. They've been in Zanzibar, they've been in many competitions. I do believe in the PMCO, but they've been able to continue to produce those performances that we do know them to be capable of. But the Senegalese team is not holding back as they do take down Shard. Now Lobos, who was on the run, is now fighting back. They've reduced the deficit for the Habitual boys to a 3-man squad. Samurai getting attacked by 419. He's able to do a little bit of damage and send him back down. But a Psycho actually who does get the knock. Lobos providing the support right there. Man, trying to get that next knock over them. Ooh, but the DBS to the rescue as 419 does go down. Habitual, who were hot on the tails for the boys from Solo Esports, and now the ones who are looking likely to get taken out of the game as they're down to the one player, they're down to those Dead Fury. Solo Esports have lost 2 players in this one, but Samurai and Lobos are deciding to back out of this fight. I'm not sure that was pretty much the right decision to make, because at that point in time, The boys from Habitual had just one player who was currently up, so if they had made the push, they might have been able to take him out of the game. But there's also the boys from Afro Esports who were lurking around, and I'm sure that and deciding, hey, you know what, it is best for us to just get out of the game, try as much as possible to keep ourselves alive in this one. But Little Boss goes down to Dead Fury as he does get taken out again. And this is what it is. You'll find yourself in this sort of situation. Sometimes backing out is the right thing. Sometimes making that push in that right moment is the decision to make. We see right there on the kill feed, the boys from TOS finally getting into the mix right there as they do take out a couple of players right from UNK. They're currently sitting down with 6 kills to their name. And all of a sudden, we're beginning to see the boys from Tryout Squad get really aggressive, but they're still fighting outside the zone. But right there from UNK looking to get that knock, looking to get that finish. Player 3 with the sprays, but is not able to quite connect enough to Obito and Hanzo. They started out this competition being the team that was getting into a lot of skirmishes and losing. Seem like they're improving their gameplay so far. Right, so the boys from TOS just hopping into the vehicle, or at least one of them hopping into the vehicle, trying as much as possible to get into that zone at this player 3. They've got to be careful because the boys from UNK are still lurking around them. Not too far away, sitting within the center of the zone. You got the boys from Sidizens and Extremist as well as Disparaged, who might be getting into a 3-way fight. We'll take a look at that in just a minute, as it does look like, looking at the kill feed, we do see Jetto going down for Sidizens. Sidizens who finished the last game in 2nd spot, did quite well for themselves. And now hot on the tails from the boys from Extremists, who are looking to perform a lot better in this one. They're sending out the nade towards that position where Joker is at. You can see Wolf not being able to connect that nade quite well, but Sonic is able to get the knock onto Joker. It's in a whole lot of trouble. They're down to just 2 players left. It is Bego and 7-7 Godye. What decision are they going to make? Pull away from the fight, all full to take them on. Bego's just waiting for something to happen. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but the damage being done to 7 does mean that they cannot make that full push anymore. We might be seeing a fight coming down between the boys from Disparaged as well as Extremist, and that may buy Bego enough time to just get out of that particular position and just get into the zone. And it's a tough time for all of these guys, but Disparaged might be to the rescue. You can see Extremists hot on their tails. They're looking, they're searching for the boys from Sidizens. They want to get that kill. They want to eliminate them and send them back into the lobby, because you know, if you do get the opportunity to take out a team like Sidizens, then that does give you a lot of hope. And they've got themselves 3 eliminations so far, and they're looking quite good. Wolf and his boys can now turn their sights onto the boys from Disparaged and look to get themselves into that zone. With that zone shifting all the way into that 3rd stage. Several different teams like Invictus, Apex, or Commodity situated sitting quite strongly within that zone, as well as Afro Esports, Disparaged, and as well as Extremists will be looking to see if they can cross over through Painan into those regions within the zone. TOS also has a free option from the northern side of that zone. UNK is trying to cross the breeze not too far away from Camp Charlie, so we'll see how that one does work out for them. We've got about 13 teams left here in the game and 41 buddies. We'll see how that goes. Bego just waiting it out, trying as much as possible not to get spotted. To keep them alive with this game as much as they can, and that's one thing about Sidizens Gaming. They know how to stay alive, keep being in the game, keep working it out. You know, grabbing those points, even when they have a bad game. You know, they can get the 5 points, they can get the 8 points, and if he can get into that top 5 situation, then he's grabbed some extra 4 or 5 points, and that will be okay for him. If he snatches a couple of kills along the way, then that's still fine. All right, so the boys from Extremist are now heading towards that zone. They got the boys from Dream Team just driving across them. They're not taking on the action with them. They're just deciding to continue on their merry way. So the Extremists, noticing the various teams in front of them, are also not taking on the shots. They just want to get into that region around Painan and possibly call it their own, to give themselves the best chances to move on in this game. So all of these teams have got a good spot within that zone, but we might be seeing something going down between Vibe Gaming and as well as the boys from INF, who are all the way towards the south of that zone. UNK sitting down in Camp Charlie. Apex holding pretty much what is an open position, but really close to the center of the entire map. The map moving towards the fourth stage. But we're seeing something going down between Extremists and the boys from Disparaged, who were hot on their tails for quite some time in this one. The boys from Extremists have got to get into the zone as well as the boys from Disparaged. And you don't want to be on 5 squad here. Disparaged sitting down with a 3-man squad. They've lost Shin. And then you've got the boys from Extremists hot on their tails, Zombie and his boys are trying to take them out. It is a race for who gets into Painan first. And who begins the fight. Climax. Seeing Wolf continues to send on them shots. But a lot of damage is being done to him as the return fire provides support for his teammate. Wolf trying as much as possible to keep them in this game as well. And it's a tough one going down for all of these teams because this angle now means that the boys from Extremists have got to rotate all the way through that right of Painan and try as much as possible to get into that zone. But just right there, you have the boys from MOB as well as Dream Team. And Disparaged is not going to find it quite easy as well because they have to take on this fight. They've got to take out the boys from Extremists. But anyways, before we get into that, let's turn our sights onto the boys right there from Afro Esports who are going up against Habitual. We did see Habitual early on in the game take out a couple of players right there from Sidizens Gaming. And they're continuing with that onslaught with that bravery and pushing on to the boys from Afro Esports. All of these teams are currently sitting down outside that zone. TOS, who did get into a couple of fights early on, is now in the skirmish right there with the boys right from Apex. Be curious to see how this one actually does play down. Invictus also getting into the mix, into the action as they do take down one of the players right there from INF, I believe. Apex getting on shots from every single corner, and this is what you expect from Apex. They're always trying as much as possible to get parties from several different teams, and that's how they found their kills all the way into that final circle, and that's what they're doing right here. They're taking on shots onto the boys from MO, and it does look like it is Apex who has now finally got that knock or that elimination on that team MOB right there. I'm not sure how many players are left for MOB, but I do believe it's just one. It's a Cycle who's currently left for the team and is trying as much as possible to hold on for their life. EOS being dealt a lot of damage as they're down 2 players in this one. They've got 6 eliminations to themselves. They've got SP, but the most right from Apex have been hot on their tail, looking for their jail life, looking and sniffing, trying to take them out of the game. It's a tough one for a lot of these teams. Afro Esports also in the mix. They're down to the last guys. There's OJ who's left for Afro Esports. Invictus putting in the work. They're continuing to send on them shots. Apex continuing with their knocks into several different teams around them. Disparaged also getting a couple of kills. They're getting into the mix right there. Disparaged is another team currently sitting down with a 3-man squad. Well, they've been reduced now to a 2-man squad coming outside the zone. They've got a team right there in front of them. Trying to get into the zone. Invictus are playing devil's advocate as they keep chaos out of this game. Invictus who grabbed the winner chicken dinner, and the last one have got to be careful. They've got a full squad continuing on with the onslaught that they had in the previous game. But this time around, it is Neo, is the boy Neo who is vying for that MVP spot as he's got 6 kills to his name. The entire team is currently chilling and sitting down with 9 kills so far. And Invictus, who haven't had quite a great start to the entire competition, are now the ones who are running away with it. They've got themselves a whole bunch of kills. They still got a full squad in this one. And they're heading towards that zone, marching on like the champions of the last game. looking to replicate the performance that they had in that one. Were they to die now, they will be working away with 9 points from this game with the eliminations that they have alone. TOS chilling with the last player of the game, trying to get into that zone. Habitual fighting for their dear life as they come up against Tayo and his boys. The last player right there from TOS gets taken back and sent into the lobby. Apex just farming out kills from different positions that they can. They also have got a full squad, so we'll see what that means at the end of the game. Now turn the sights onto Extremist as they do get a couple of knocks. You can see Habitual sending on the shots onto Invictus, but it doesn't do any damage. Real has got to join his teammates and get into that zone, but they got to be careful. They got UNK on their left and Vibe Gaming as well as the boys from Apex behind them. And this is where things now begin to get super dangerous for them. UNK, who are down to the line, 2 players, Obito and Hanzo, have been escaping so many teams so far. Will Luck stay on their side as they're down to the last 4 right here. Invictus, one of those teams that we talked about to grab that winner with a chicken dinner. Having got a lot of kills in this game, currently sitting down, I do believe, with 12 kills or 11 kills. Now have a lot of damage being done to them. They're down to pretty much what is the last player. It's just Rogue Baby, who was pretty much our MVP of the last game. But Apex is looking for that juggler. They've got 12 kills to the name. They're not stopping. They're holding on for their life. Or it's Invictus who is holding on for their life in this particular game. As you can see, another confirmation goes in. And the eliminations so far count to 13. And we're now being joined by Priest Cast. Woo! Thank God. Priest, are you there? All right, so it will take him some time to set up, and probably will be back in the next game, but he will be joining us in the next one. So currently, let's take a look at Rose Baby coming up against Blessing right there. He does a little bit of damage, takes him down to pretty much what is 1 HP, but Blessing is not holding back with that DBS as he does grab the winner chicken dinner. But great stuff coming in from Invictus as they do get themselves into that great spot once again. So lovely stuff coming in from Invictus at Apex to continue on with the onslaught that we saw from the previous game and getting the winner chicken dinner and securing that second place. But Apex were able to grab themselves 16 kills amount of kills from that game as he got himself 6 kills. Well, not just Neo and Habitual Death Fury were able to get themselves 6 kills each. But we'll be curious to see if the damage on Neo is more than Death Fury's and who grabbed the winner chicken dinner. So we'll see what that means overall. We'll be going on for a quick break right about now. We'll see the leaderboard of where we are on things. Priest will be joining us just immediately after this game, and we'll be right back for some more action. We'll see you in a couple of moments.
All right, guys. So it does look like we have a difficulty. But yeah, for now, you're still seeing my beautiful face. All right, so we'll be switching the screen so far, but Chris is going to be joining us. Someone is laughing at me in the background, and I can see you laughing at me because I was just smiling and confused, like yeah, is it going to change now? Are we going to switch now? Mr. Producer, remove me. Lovely stuff so far. But yeah, I can't wait to get into the conversation with Priest on the action that we've seen so far with Invictus getting the winner chicken dinner in the first game, and also Apex continuing with the regular onslaught that we do expect to see from them. Apex is always consistent. The first game they came in uh, as third in that particular game with Citizens Gaming getting that second spot. So we'll see how that goes on in this one. Hallelujah!
All right, guys. So we're going to be moving now into the Miramar game. We've seen so much action going down between these teams. The San Jose game was really brilliant with the boys from Invictus getting that winner with a chicken dinner. And in the second game, they came up again trying to get that same chicken dinner as well. But the boys from Apex were absolutely storming that lobby and ready to hold them back. So right now, we've seen these two teams battle it out for who is going to be grabbing that top spot. Will they continue their onslaught in this game, or will other teams like Citizens and the rest have something to say about it? And let's go. As I'm now being joined by Priest. Hey, Priest, what's up?
Fire, fire. What's popping, my guy? It looks like we're having a barrage of a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think we're good to go back. A lot of these teams, I saw the formats in the last game. It's actually really wonderful to watch. Team Apex, yeah, super.
Yeah, absolutely.
Team Apex was super strong that finish. So blessing with the PBS to wrap up the game and give them that chicken dinner. I think they're still going to maintain that first position with the leaderboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Apex doing quite well in the two games, getting the winner with a chicken dinner, and continuing with the onslaught. But we're seeing that map move all the way from that central south position towards that north central. And Vikendi, we've spoken about this, Brice, outside. Vikendi is one of the maps that I absolutely hate. I hate watching a Vikendi game, because like it's just like everyone's just in buildings camping to the very end.
And it's very interesting because it's all about play zone, defensive positions. I don't think it's active here. I don't think active is here now.
No,
Active
no,
isn't
they're
here
not.
at
They're
all.
not.
So
They're not.
and they're very strong Vikendi. So we're going to look forward to seeing another team that's going to give us those same Vikendi vibes, and keep us in the loop.
Yeah,
So I think
absolutely.
we are having some more technical difficulties. Well, look, we know the wine ourselves a bit because I'm not even sure what's going on, like for real. Because I can't even let's be real. I can't see anything on the feed, so I can't even pretend to see anything on the feed. But it's going to be fixed. Hopefully it's going
Okay.
to be fixed. I think it's yeah. Okay, I think we're back,
Ooh.
and I think we're out against.
Okay,
We're
here.
not just talking to ourselves, because bro,
No, no,
it's a
no, no, no.
deal.
I think they can hear us on the stream. I think they can
Okay,
hear us.
okay,
Um, but it's just
okay.
that we cannot see the feed here.
Okay,
But anyways,
I think I can see the feed now. Man. Can you
yeah,
see the
yeah, we
feed?
can.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we can see
Okay.
Apex. Apex with a three-man squad. Citizens Gaming has Jetto, who is currently down. All the way in. I do believe they're in Chas going up against Habitual.
Mm, okay. So yeah, we're having some more of those technical difficulties right now. So
Um,
hopefully this will be fixed.
they're saying they can't hear you, Priest. That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay. Look at quiet now. See you.
Guys, could you hear Priest? Could you hear him? Uh, okay. They say they can hear us. They say they can hear us
Oh,
now.
oh shit.
They say
See
they
me,
can
I don't
hear
dey
us.
laugh. See me, I dey laugh now, guy. I don't dey laugh, guy.
Okay, so we're still having
But
more
this is,
technical.
but this is weird, fire, because I,
Yeah,
you share your screen. Share
yeah.
your screen,
It's
okay. Share your
okay.
screen first. Sorry.
My own screen.
You share your screen, man. You did this thing. Just leave the, just leave
Uh,
it. Share your screen, look at your screen.
still I'm
But then
on. Okay,
again,
let me see.
what's the audience seeing, bro? That's the truth. Even if you share your screen to me, what is the audience seeing? Like, what are
So
they
the
seeing?
audience is saying
Well, what are they
they are
seeing?
very on their.
Seeing.
No, they are seeing the game. They are seeing the game quite well.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but me, I'm watching on my iPad. I'm not so it's not connected to my laptop's Discord, so I
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
find
yeah,
a way to
yeah, yeah,
connect
yeah, yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think
I
okay.
see.
I think we're good. I think we're good. Kage, I can see Kage is
Yeah.
just solo here. Apex, I think
Yeah.
has
Apologies
Apex
for
solo.
today, guys. You guys are gonna have to bear with us. I do believe that the production will be ready and set. There were some updates to, the API, so that led to some changes. But we will resolve it, and we'll be back to this quality and the standard that you guys deserve. But for today, just manage and bear with us. It's not gonna be our top notch, but we'll still try our very best.
Apologies for it's not really easy doing this. There's a whole lot of moving parts. There's a
Yeah.
whole lot of updates and stuff like that that changes from time to time. So you have to adapt. You have to fix a whole lot of the settings and everything. But the guys from Fukan are doing their absolute best. Working with the team right now, and they're all hands on deck. Everyone is trying to fix this. I think if you fix, it's just a matter of fixing one thing, and then something else breaks, and then you have to fix that one, and something, a whole lot of a cascade of events. But the guys are on it. And I think it's going to be sorted out very soon.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's just for now take a look at where several different teams are currently situated. We got the boys from Extremist situated right there, just around the horizons of Mount Kresnik, next to the boys from First Actors, and I do believe that both of them have gotten into a little skirmish. All the way in Hot Springs, you do have Solo Esports as well as Vonova sitting down there is Disparaged. You got the boys from Valhalla as well, not too far away from Disparage, all the way towards the western region. And in Winery, you have Dream Team. UNK is currently sitting down in Castle, and Apex is around Cement Factory with Kage just driving around looking for some loot, or I do believe he's scouting. In Cosmodrome, you have the boys from Afro Esports doing their thing, and Citizens Gaming are still sitting down with a full squad right there in creatures. Yes. TOS, another squad who got into some early action right there, have themselves one kill, sitting down, still outside the zone at Movatra. And we'll be looking to rotate in quite well as the boys will be sitting down in Tova, Priest. Okay, so it's going to be really difficult for Priest because he's not in the game. There's no view for him to see. So I'm just going to continue as much as I can with what I have on my iPad, and I don't know. I don't know how best this is going to work for you guys, but I'm just gonna try
Just
my very.
just give them the vibe, fire. Give them
I'm
the
just gonna
vibe.
try and give.
Give
I'm
them
just
the
gonna
vibe.
because the thing is, I think there's like a mini delay or 2 minute delay. I'm not really sure, but I know the delay is not that much. But I'm just gonna just look for wherever anyone is fighting and just cast on that. That's what I'm just gonna do. Whether that rhymes what they see on the screen, I don't know. All right, so the boys from Dream Team are coming up against Valhalla. Two players from Valhalla are currently down. It is now the entire team with that beautiful name coming in from Saad taking the rest of the guys out. Actually, it was Storm who got that final nade and took them out. But just immediately as they're done with that fight, the boys from Disparage are pulling up onto that location immediately. And the Dream Team continuing with the onslaught takes down Dishonest. And you can see Sad now making that push onto that location where Disparage are situated. Disparage not having quite a great day as they did in previous days where they got the two winner chicken dinners. And things have been quite difficult for them. But will this be the game where they're able to turn things around? You can see Sad getting that flag position, but he's got to be careful as he comes in behind Chaos. But he was not aware of Climax's position all the way flanked, as Climax does take Sad down. And now the boys from Dream Team, who were looking like they had the upper foot, and now behind. Storm trying to keep them in this game as he does get knocked down too, and it's down to just Archer to keep them alive in this game. It's a very tough one for the boys from Dream Team, as it does look like Archer is deciding, hey, you know what, I'm just going to get out of this one. I'm just going to move away from what is a really, really, really tough fight. Man, Priest, I wish you were saying this because the action is mental. It's mad. It's mad, man.
I can
It's
feel it. I
mad.
can feel it. I
Ah.
tap into those areas. And we
Man,
can't get
absolutely crazy stuff coming in right there. But I'm just watching it on my iPad. Hopefully, it's able to rhyme with the stream. If it's rhyming, guys, please let me know. Does it rhyme? If you know rhyme, just say no rhyme. If you rhyme, say rhyme. Very simple. That's all I need. That's all I need. Yeah. All right. So taking a look at the action going down, there's also the team Apex coming up against Solo Esports. Priest, I do believe we can see it now. It does look like it's frozen again. Anyways, I'm not sure,
I'm
but
getting two feeds. Getting two feeds. I
oh really?
think. 2 feeds.
Yeah, I'm getting two feeds, but the two feeds are the same. Yeah, they're pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same.
Yeah, I'm seeing in. What happened on my screen is Invictus.
Yeah,
Invictus.
yeah.
I think Invictus got a chicken dinner. The first game. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They got a chicken dinner with Rogue Baby getting the MVP of that
Maybe
first. I do
I
believe.
think he's like the first one together with the league since the league started. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, she was absolutely storming the lobby with that performance coming on right there. Invictus, they're scouting around, taking a look onto the boys from Vibe Gaming, looking to see if they can be absolutely aggressive. In the second game, it was not Rogue Baby that was popping off, it was Neo. You can see him just itching and waiting to see if he can get one or two. Now, I do believe Neo got 6 kills in that one. They came on second against the boys from Apex, but Apex were just on some another level in some extra beast mode in that game as they did grab the winner with the chicken dinner. I do believe they got 16 kills and the winner with the chicken dinner in that one. So continuing with the normal onslaught that we do expect to see from them.
Yeah, Team Apex looking very comfortable. After that chicken dinner that they had, I think they're still topping the leaderboard. They did, however, they did finish strongly, and it looks like they might just decide to do 2 out of 2 for Pikendi because the last time Apex went to Pikendi, they got like 19 eliminations, and that was like 2 days ago, 2 nights ago. So it looks like they might just be able to do that again. But then they are a man short. There's no Kuma here, there's no Wizard, so it looks like they might just be choosing to play another style. But again, the split from the guys from Team Apex is very, very otherworldly. Kage is all by himself here. I don't know what this dance he's doing is. It might just be the juju dance that helps him to get the eliminations, to call the ops to his direction. I think that's Disparaged that's just pulling up to the scene north of his position. And I think Vibe Gaming are in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely crazy stuff coming in throughout today from the boys from Apex. But speaking about Vibe Gaming and being in trouble, or speaking about a team being in trouble, we do have Invictus getting quite close to the boys from Habitual. We'll see how that one does play out for these two teams as Invictus has been in some really different mode today.
Yeah, it's like they've learned a couple of strategies to use, against most of these teams because they've been dwindling. And we talked about them, today for the first game that they had. They had a fantastic first chicken dinner, that was yesterday. But then they fell off. They couldn't keep that energy, couldn't keep it for themselves. They fell off in the last 3 games. So their chicken dinner was really wasn't necessarily that useful, but it was still a couple of good points for them, but it wasn't enough to keep them out of that bubble area. But now 4 eliminations and the chicken dinner from the first game, it looks like now they have a strategy that is working, and now they have a plan to execute the strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so please just go on while I try to create a contingency plan for you and share my iPad.
No, I think we're good though. No, we're good. Habitual Gaming. Yeah, we're good. It's been fixed, because it's very clear. It's very bright. I think we're good.
Okay.
I think the team behind the scene is doing their job right now because I can see the feed here. Shad is here. Psycho has been sent back into the lobby. I think that was the engagement with the citizens earlier in the game.
Okay, great. All right, so So Habitual, continuing with the action that they had in the previous game, today has not quite been their day. They're usually that aggressive team that's able to take on several different teams around them. They've gotten a couple of eliminations in the previous games, but it's not been their day. I do believe guys like Invictus, guys like TOS, even TOS, Priest did perform a lot better in the first game. They had a couple of eliminations. They were making those push that you usually expect from them. But I think one aspect of proof is just fighting to the play zone seem to be their major.
Yeah, the play zone is not a friendly. It's not a friendly part of their play style because they're one of those teams that tend to rotate very late, and they do get caught out on rotation. And again, they do love to play from the west, and southwest specifically. And there's so many other teams, that rotate from that position. That is why they keep getting caught out. But then again, it's still a matter of how much you learn as the game goes on. How much are you willing to adapt to the rest of the teams in the lobby? Because the teams in the lobby will dictate at least 25 to 30% of how you're going to participate, the plans you're going to make, the moves you're going to carry out, how you're going to carry them out. It is still a matter of how you're going to adapt to those teams. And Invictus, they are the team today. They've adapted to the lobby. They've learned from their past mistakes. They've managed to keep the momentum. They're learning how to play terrain much more than flat out
Absolutely.
positions.
Absolutely. Now we're seeing a fight going down between Citizens and the boys from Afro. Citizens are down to just the one player left. It is just Bego who's trying to get that revive onto Joker. They got caught out right there by the boys from Afro Esports, who are now pulling up onto their position, trying as much as possible to take them out. It is just Bego who's trying as much as possible to fight, but they'll have to keep them in this particular game. He's got a DBS to his hand, so he's just in this position, and it is a tough one coming on from them. But the boys from Afro Esports are continuing to make sure that they take out the last players right there. They've got some third party shots coming in right there from Solo Esports. They lost one player in this fight, but it would be the boys from Afro taking out the boys from Citizens in this one.
Fantastic play coming from the guy from Afro Esports. I mean, I've seen Afro Esports and Citizens get into it again and again and again. Afro Esports win this time, Citizens win the next time, but then they always lose players. They always sacrifice something. And then this is part of the play style. This is part of the game. Eliminations come at a cost. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the cost to be the boss? That is the question that these teams ask themselves every time, they clash heads. But this time, Afro Esports come out on top.
Absolutely amazing stuff coming in from the boys from Afro Esports right there, as they do get themselves a couple of eliminations that they do need to continue to perform in this game. Wototo from RNF getting a knock onto one of the players right there from First Artics. And we're curious to see if that is an all-out fight going down between the two of them. And it does look like it, as they are making their push right there. INF, one of those teams that has not been able to put some performances on today. Both of them need to step things up. Both First Artics and the boys from INF do need this performance, and this is one of those times where they will be able to show exactly what they're capable of. Priest.
Yeah, I want to see, if they are going to be the thorn in the side of Team Apex. Team Apex ends in the lobby as a three-man team. And Afro Esports is also in a three-man team. So hopefully these teams are going to clash into each other. We're going to see, a survival of the fittest scenario from them. But speaking of three-man teams, you see the guys from Solo Esports as well with a three-man team, to beat. So I'm looking forward to, how they want to navigate this position. They do have the compound. They are playing the compound defense game, playing to their strength. They've already lost Lobos. So I want to see if the guys from Solo Esports are going to, update their playing strategy, because they need those points. They need so many points, to do the job. Disparaged is also one of those teams that has to, maintain their lead to increase rather the number of points between them and that bubble. They want to stay, as far up as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. The Spurs coming in today were ranked really high up on the leaderboard. I think they were somewhere in that top five position. So they're looking quite good with the amount of points that they were able to accumulate, get into with the winner chicken dinners in previous days. But we will see if that is enough for them at the end of today, with all these other teams vying in for that top spot up on that leaderboard. As Invictus and Apex continue with the onslaught in the lobby so far. But we'll take a look and see what this is going to mean, as we do still have 11 teams situated right here as we are moving into the fifth stage. And this is what you usually say about Miramar, Priest. Miramar is one of those maps where you're just too many builders to work with, man. Everyone could just wait.
Yeah, playing the waiting game usually pays off. Team Apex, they're not one for playing the waiting game though. They do love to go out there and get those elimination. They are playing the edge of the circle here, but the edge of the circle is not necessarily the best play style if you want to play inside of the candy. You have to be very, very centered. In the candy, hold the splits and hold the center position because of the way the play zone tends to shift in this map. And it's very, very dangerous, to play by the edge of the circle. And Team Apex, that. That's why they're already making their rotations. And they do love to play from that eastern part of the circle just to keep, the rest of the teams at bay. And again, that's why, that's that thing I talked about, terrain. They love to play the terrain. They do not necessarily love to hold buildings or hold compounds or hold areas, or hold on areas around buildings, but they do love to go play around in the terrain. And that is the Apex way, the Apex style. And that is the style doing it for them. The play zone is going to shift away from, as they expected, but they're already on the move. They're so proactive, they're ready. And I think they might just run into the guys from Tryout Squad. Tryout Squad has been having a good day today, Fire, like you said. Yeah, they've been having a very, very good day today. So hopefully they can keep up that energy, because they are one of those teams that needs a truckload of points to get into the senior league.
Yeah, speaking about truckload of points, the boys from Apex are looking quite strong, but they're not relenting, they're not holding back. They want to keep on soaking the entire lobby for the maximum points as they can get. You would think at this particular point, a team like Apex would be saying, hey, you know what, we can just go on freestyle, have as much fun as we can, because we are on top of the leaderboard. But no, they're not holding back. You see Kage looking to turn someone into that Iceman right there with his full glacier, trying as much as possible to see if he can continue to get as much points as possible. Even with the three-man squad, they've still been dealing a lot of damage in the lobby, and be curious to see what that means overall.
Yeah, it's very the leaderboard right now. Team Apex, they're topping the leaderboard with a significant number of points. Now, all of these teams they need to find their inner apex so that they can get some crazy points to match the gap. Of course, this is still a qualifier series, so all of these teams, all these points only counts towards qualifying to the senior league. That is the goal for most of these teams, especially those teams that are hanging around that bubble position. Teams like need to do better. They need to find some points. Tryout Squad as well. They need to do better. They need so much more. They need to to get a cracked out game just so that they can stand a chance, to get into that senior league. Because right now, the points between the teams in that bubble and the teams that are not surviving is taking it's taking a whole lot of, it's taking a toll on the rest of these players. Disparaged as well. Even Disparaged, they are doing incredible numbers just to keep themselves above the rest of the fray.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of keeping themselves above the rest of the fray, you have the boys right there from Invictus coming up against Habitual, setting up the nades onto the position. They have been getting a whole bunch of kills today. They've been like a different team overall, just fighting really, really hard to make sure that they're able to climb up on that leaderboard. They've had two great games where they finished first and they finished second. And moving on to this particular one, you can see them continuing the fight right here. But Pink's is currently down. They might be able to get that revive. They have several different teams around them. They have shots popping off, but they're trying to keep themselves alive in this game. They have to take out Habitual and continue to move towards that zone if they want to produce a third straight great game.
For the guys from Invictus, they've been performing so well. Just too soon for them. Invictus is another thing they do not want to get on the bad side of.
Yeah, absolutely. Invictus currently sitting down with a two-man squad coming up against Hab. You can see Storm taking out one, taking out two. That Fury hand shot going down to his bullets, and he's going in for that final juggler, looking to take out the last player right there from Habitual. And it's some absolutely amazing gameplay coming in right there from Storm as he is taking out